what's up, Anyo? It's Emily and I'm back with another video about my journey to teaching English in Korea. I know I said I was going to give a little background on why I wanted to do it next, but I had like a weird, I don't know, traumatic experience with my TEFL course the last week or so, and so I decided to do my anything and everything TEFL video next, so that anyone else that tries to do this can hopefully learn from my mistakes or misunderstandings. More just like I was confused, and anyway, I'll explain later. Okay, so basically all of the different acronyms that you'll kind of find when looking into TEFL certifications. There's ESL, English as a second language. There's EFL, English as a foreign language. Then there's TESOL, so TESOL, and that's teaching English to speakers of other languages. And then Delta is another certification, and that stands for, hold on, I pulled it up. Okay, it's Certificate in English Language Teaching for Adults. But I've looked and it applies, you can use it to apply to any of the EPIC programs, and it basically consists of like a built-in practicum, so you get in-class teaching just like you would with a TEFL certification that also provided like extra hours of in-class teaching. The EPIC program, which stands for English Program in Korea, requires a minimum of 100 hours for a online TEFL course. You also can have a bachelor's, master's in education if you have a license, a teaching license, or if you majored in anything education related, you may be exempt from having a TEFL as well. The only program through EPIC that requires you to have an in-class component is if you want to teach in Busan. Busan Education Office requires you to have 50 hours of in-class components. So if you have a CELTA, go to Busan. Okay, so just a little information about what I'm doing. So I'm currently getting ready to apply for Corgi, and through them I'll apply to the EPIC program. I don't need to have my TEFL certification done, like I don't have to have finished it when I apply, but that just means like as soon as I'm done with it, I need to send them the like apostilled copy of it. I'm getting my TEFL through a program that was recommended / I was referred to it through Corgi. So there were a couple other programs I looked into. They also had like a discount code, but even with the discount code, all of them were pretty much the same price. And it ends up coming to be a little less than like $350. Shout out to my mama Chris for my early graduation present. Love you guys. So basically I'm getting mine through an agency called ACT, which I was like, oh god, flashbacks to high school. But it's the Asian College of Teachers, and I'm taking a 120-hour course that has no in-class components. Realized that a lot of them offered in-class components for like specific offices. I think the closest one that I found was like a Chicago office for one of the programs, and I had a goal of starting my TEFL like January 2nd or 1st or something, like very beginning of the year. But that leads me to my TEFL trauma. My TEFL is structured into two modules, Module 1 and Module 2. So Module 1 consists of 5 phases, like chapters. And in order to complete it, you have to have completed a 50 question, like multiple choice quiz, and then you have a midterm. And the midterm is like a lesson plan and answering some other questions. And then Module 2 is 3 phases, 30 multiple choice questions, and a final assignment, which is, I'm assuming it's going to be like another lesson plan. but you don't get access to module 2 until you're done with module 1. So they give you like basically like a chapter of material for each phase. And I had like I had like taken notes. It was 33 like pages, so I didn't want to print it out, but then I realized as I was doing it that I like really wanted to be able to like write on my notes, and I was like copying too much stuff down. So basically like I had my dad print the other like 4 phases for me while I was working on 1. So I finished 1. That same day I had gotten all of the like printed out material from my dad, and I had gone and like hole punched it. I had this huge binder of it. Here's the binder. It's so big. So this is just phases 1 through 5. Because I was like, oh, I'll go through and do like, I'll like re-annotate phase 1. So basically I like gotten through phase 1, which is 33 pages, and I was like, okay, let me check out the like multiple choice quizzes and stuff. So the way it's set up on the website, it like says there's like a drop down menu where it says like select phase, and I was like, okay, so I'll click it and select phase 1, take the multiple choice question quiz on phase 1, and then move on to phase 2. So this is where the stressful trauma comes in. I went to take the quiz. I read all the instructions, which let me read them to you, because they're the like intimidating, if you mess this up, you're screwed kind of instructions. So it's like, you will only get 1 attempt to answer the questions. You will receive your score after you submit them. After completion, you have to do assignments. And then it says like at the top of the quiz, you get like an hour to take it. If you don't finish it within the hour, the quiz becomes void, and any questions that aren't done at the end of the hour are counted as wrong. So I was like, okay, like that's why I was like, I want to be totally prepared. So I like brought out my like physical copy of like the material. I had it pulled up. I had my notes, like that notebook that you guys have seen me writing in. I was like ready. I was like, okay, let's do this. And I realized that there are way more questions than I thought there would be for a quiz that's over 1 phase. So I scrolled down to the bottom, and I'm like, well, there are 50 questions. And I was like, crap. I'm like, Hannah, what have I just done? And she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm shaking. At this point, like my hands are shaking. I like quickly explained to my sister, like, don't talk to me, because we had been like talking about like, I don't know, music videos and other Korean stuff that we like talking about. Hot people. Anyway, I was like, don't talk to me for the next like 40 minutes. I need to concentrate. And I'm like, all right, I freaked out for 5 minutes. I'm like looking at the counter at the top of the like quiz, and I'm like, all right, 5 minutes. I freaked out for 5 minutes. Let's get it done. I answered the first 10 questions super easily because I had like I've been like super prepared for phase 1. And then I like immediately start like flipping through all of the material I have for phase 2. I'm like, all right, what am I supposed to do? I like, if I can't find it when I'm like skimming it, I like find it in my PDF, like the little find button. I know it's so bad, but I will say like my one redeeming quality was I would like highlight it so that I could go back later and like actually study it. So I mean, like, this is, I've already started going back and like underlining, like this is like question on quiz, and so like I know it's important, and like I'm actually doing it. Like, I promise I wasn't just trying to like get out of work, but I was like legitimately freaking out, and I was like, I can't, like, I just kept thinking, oh my god, I threw away like $350. I ended up getting a 98. So I only missed 1 question, which is great, but I like feel dirty now. Basically, don't do what I did. This is the point of that's the point of this whole channel. Like, I mess up so that you don't have to. Oh, that's sad. if there's any lesson to be learned here, it's to just ask questions when you're not like 100% sure. I mean, it wasn't bad. I'm doing fine now. I'm now working on like my midterm assignment, which is like a lesson plan. But it was just stressful. Don't do what I did. Oh, also, hold on. So for Christmas, my mom got me a teacher sweater. That's what I decided to call it, guys. It's one of the long ones and it's super comfy. Teacher sweater. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.